This Birkin bag at Hermès boutique will cost you 38,000 USD. But what is the real cost out of the factory? Of the luxury bags in the world are made in China.
China makes 80% of your designer bags.
Our artisans, they need to do 4 years of training to be able to manufacture a Kelly bag. This that you've just seen.
Hermès isn't just selling a bag. They are running the ultimate psyche game, and they're really good at it.
Hermès, the brand famous for its expensive handbags, is now facing a major scandal. For years, they sold the dream of exclusive, handcrafted French luxury. But now, that carefully crafted image is falling apart. And it's not customers or critics causing the problem. It's the factories Hermès relied on to build their billion-dollar empire. What makes this story even more shocking is that the factories weren't making cheap fakes. They were making the real thing. The same Birkins and Kelly's Hermès sells for $20,000 and up. Now, these manufacturers are speaking out, revealing what really happens behind those Made in France labels. And what they're exposing isn't the story Hermès wants the world to hear. For decades, Hermès crafted an image of slow, careful workmanship done by skilled French artisans in peaceful workshops. You could almost see it, a white-coated craftsman stitching leather under soft lights, creating masterpieces one stitch at a time. That fantasy helped justify the steep price tags attached to every bag. But the real process is very different. According to insiders and leaked videos, up to 80% of Hermès bags are made in China. From leather cutting to stitching and assembling, most of the work happens overseas. Only after the bags are almost completely finished are they sent to France, where a few small details like a button or stamp are added, allowing Hermès to legally label them Made in France. When factory workers began posting TikToks showing the real production process, Hermès quickly tried to cover it up.
So Hermès has put out a response to China, and they have like a video in a factory sort of showing people trying to show that they're actually the ones who are making the bags in a factory somewhere in France. But at this point, I don't know if it's hurting or it's actually helping Hermès, because it's giving le paid actors, le damage control, le deception.
They released polished videos showing workers in France hand-stitching leather, trying to preserve the brand's old image. But by then, the internet had already seen the truth, and the damage was done. Adding to the momentum was Tanner Leatherstein, a leather expert who built a following by doing what luxury brands fear most: cutting designer bags open on camera. Tanner's straightforward approach pulled the curtain back on what these companies were really selling. And it wasn't what people expected. When Tanner dissected a real Birkin, the results were stunning. The leather wasn't significantly better than what you'd find in a $100 high-end dupe. And even more shocking, the actual production cost to make a Birkin was around $600, luxury launches. Not $14,000, not $38,000, just $600. With premium leather and metal hardware included. Tanner spent over $100,000 buying luxury bags and analyzing them.
I have spent over $100,000 of my own money dissecting luxury bags, cutting them open, analyzing every stitch, every layer. Why? Because I had to know what made those bags so expensive.
What he found repeatedly was simple. People weren't paying for better materials or expert craftsmanship. They were paying for a brand story, a fantasy built carefully over time. As viral videos spread and more evidence came to light, Hermès could have owned up to the truth. They could have explained, apologized, or offered transparency. Instead, they chose lawsuits. Hermès filed legal actions against several Chinese factories, accusing them of defamation and intellectual property theft. But the irony was heavy. These were the very factories Hermès had contracted to build their products for years. Looking deeper, the math simply doesn't add up. Hermès made $15.2 billion in 2024 alone. If every Birkin really took 2 full days of careful handcrafting, how could they keep up with global demand? The numbers don't make sense, and customers are finally noticing. Hermès isn't the only luxury brand caught up in this kind of illusion. Chanel, Prada, and Louis Vuitton have also been exposed for outsourcing production to China while finishing items in Europe just to claim a prestigious label. It's a game the industry has been playing for decades, one most buyers never realized they were part of. Behind the scenes, factories like Satan Handbag in Guangdong Province, China, have quietly shaped the modern luxury world. They've been specializing in leather goods for over 50 years and today produce roughly 80% of the world's luxury handbags.
Who is the Chinese supplier behind product? Bags are from Sitong Handbag in Dongguan City, Guangdong Province. It's a factory specializing in handbags for 54 years, and it produces 80% of the world luxury bags.
The craftsmanship is there. The materials are there. The only real difference is the label stitched at the end and the price. Now that people know the truth, the resale market is feeling the heat. Platforms like The Real and Vestiaire Collective have seen sales slow. Buyers are more cautious. Collectors who once proudly paid $25,000 for a Birkin are second-guessing whether it was worth it. Tanner also exposed an even uglier truth. Many bags sold as full calfskin leather were actually plastic-coated. It wasn't just about where the bags were made, it was about what they were made of. And in many cases, customers didn't get what they thought they paid for. This scandal isn't just a blow to Hermès. It's a wake-up call for the entire luxury industry. For decades, brands taught us that made in China meant low quality, and made in Europe meant prestige. But today, China's top factories produce leather goods as fine, or better, than many European brands. There's even a growing market for factory extras. Bags made with the same materials by the same workers, but without a logo. They look, feel, and last just as well, but they cost a fraction of the luxury price. Celebrities helped fuel the dream too. Brands hand Birkins to celebrities like Cardi B and Kylie Jenner, knowing they'll post them on social media. It's not random admiration, it's calculated marketing. Create desire by association. Influencers aren't far behind. TikTok and Instagram are flooded with luxury unboxings, but many of those bags are either gifted or part of sponsorship deals. These creators aren't paying for the bags, they're selling the fantasy to everyone else. Even buying a Birkin isn't straightforward. Hermès makes you spend thousands on scarves, belts, and other accessories before you even get offered the chance to buy a bag.
You know, you walk into Hermès and say, hey, I want to buy one of these. You know what they say to you? No, we don't have them. First of all, you have to be Hermès customers. You have to demonstrate that you like the brand, and then you can only buy one per year. So in order to buy a $10,000 bag, you got to spend $15,000 to $20,000 first. Then they might consider placing an order for you, not the color of your choice, not the size of your choice. And they would call you when the bag is here, and you go into a little private black room, and they present 2 boxes in front of you, and you're like, what color am I getting? I don't even know. And they open up the boxes, and it's not a color that you want, but you're looking at it, I don't know when I'm gonna get a chance again. And they ask you which one you want. And you say, I hate white, but I'll take that one. And then they say, congratulations.
It's not customer loyalty. It's a strategy to create artificial scarcity and deepen the illusion. Today, even the secondhand market, once seen as an investment goldmine, is crashing. Birkin prices are dipping. Buyers are questioning. Collectors are worried. Because when the magic fades, so does the value. And it's not just unknown customers facing the truth. Even celebrities get caught. Kendall Jenner was spotted carrying a fake Louis Vuitton fanny pack. And nobody really cared. Because today, luxury isn't about authenticity anymore, it's about appearances. At the end of the day, the brands win. The celebrities win. The influencers win. And the regular buyer? They're left paying thousands chasing a dream that was never quite real. Hermès isn't just battling bad headlines now. They're fighting to save the myth that built their empire. Because luxury used to be about mystery, what you didn't know. Now it's about exposure, what you finally see. And once you've seen the truth, it's impossible to go back. Now that you know, would you still pay $20,000 for a made in France fantasy? Or is it time to start seeing luxury for what it really is?